Hey everyone, my name is Coach Aileen Wu. I am an Olympic weightlifting coach, and this is my reaction to the 2020 CrossFit Games Women's Snatch Speed Ladder. Here we go. All right, here we go. Second round of the Snatch Speed Ladder. Here the women go. Tia, first one with the barbell up. All the rest of the girls will follow. Feet under the bar, hands on bar, not really looking, doesn't have to. Gives it a good jump up. It's right over her, basically a power snatch, nicely done. All the other girls follow. Feet on the bar, not tight, but it's tight enough. The butt doesn't come off. Beautiful, right? Keeps it close, extends, gets under the bar. Looks like we have Brooke and Katrin following her, and we have Kari Pearce. Here we go, Kari Pearce. Feet on the bar, hands on bar. It looks like the barbell was way out in front of her at above the knee. It swung out a little bit and she wasn't ready for the receive. Taking a moment, collecting herself. It's really good. You need to take a little bit of break, right? Looks like she has a little bit of a duck, a little bit of feet closer together, feet pointed out. She looked at where her feet were. She put her hands on the bar. She got a little tighter on that bar, gave it a better ride. She made that lift. Nicely done. Let's check it out slow. So Kari Pearce, 170. Here we go. She just missed it the first time. She's recollecting herself. She wants to make it, even though it doesn't really matter, right? They're only taking top 3, but hey, personal pride, you're here at the CrossFit Games. Let's give it a ride. So here we go, Kari Pearce, feet under the bar. This is what I mean by looking for where your feet are. What she's doing right now, this frame, this exact frame, her feet under the bar, and she's looking, does that picture match? Because that position will set up the rest of the lift, right? So everyone else who just walks up and goes, that's what I mean by not looking where your feet are. And it's like I said, it's crucial when you're close to your 1RM, which looks like this maybe for her, or close enough to her 1RM that these little details matter. Everyone's like, what about Tia? What about Matt? Well, Tia and Matt, their 1RMs are much bigger than this lift and their technique is much more sound. So they can just walk up to the barbell, kind of get tight and then go. Haley Adams before, Kari Pearce now, they need a little bit, now we need to bring these 1RM fundamentals into play. So here we go, feet under bar. She looks where her feet are. Love it. And then from here, she puts her hands on the bar. Everything's the same. From here, she gets tied on the bar. I'd like to see a little bit more tightness, but you see her take a breath. She goes and picks up the barbell. She's over the bar, over the bar, over the bar, stays over the bar. Very nice, but doesn't shoot up right off the bat here. It's kind of hard to see, but considering that there's a shadow on her leg, it looks like the barbell isn't on her thigh, but it looks kind of close. It looks closer than it did with a couple of other athletes. But right here, one thing that you do see is that even though it's kind of close, there's a little bit of the hip shift, right? The hip is shifting forward to meet that barbell, and because the hip shifts forward, there's a little bit rock forward on the foot. Notice my heels are up to meet the barbell. So that's what you see a little bit here. And from here, notice she's ready to jump. Here, she's already forward on her toes. I'm exaggerating. I would have liked a little bit further back. Athletes make up for this by rocking and waiting on their heels before they jump up because they come forward initially, which we see a little bit of here. You see her kind of already stretched up a little bit, not as engaged forward. I'd like her a little bit more forward, a little bit more centered so that she could have more force going into the jump. But here we go. Here we go into the jump. She moves her feet. She doesn't really pull herself under a lot. You can see that passive floatiness, but she's solid enough. She's solid enough here. It rocks her just a little bit, but she's solid enough that she makes the lift. So great job, Kari Pearce. She put her feet under the bar, hands on bar. She got tight enough. I think it would help her to keep the barbell a little bit closer once she got above the knee. She gave it a good jump up. From there, she was a little loose on the pull, but when she received it, she was tight enough to secure herself under the bar before she stood up with it and then came on in. So 170, nicely done, Kari Pearce. So here we are in this part of the footage, and they're showing Toomey 170. And so let's talk about Toomey 170. Feet on the bar, hands on bar. It's kind of close enough. She kind of gets tight, keeps it close, gives it a pop up. Very smooth, right? So Tia is very aware of what the mechanics are. Her 1RM is high enough that she doesn't need to look at where her feet are. She can just put her feet under the bar, hands on bar. She knows where her hands go, but it's close enough, right? So she gets her hands on the bar. She doesn't have to take that second to really refine and make that exact. She goes and picks up the barbell, stays over the barbell, stays over the barbell, keeps it close, transitions into this big jump up and back, keeps it close the entire length of the thigh, goes into the jump. She does a great job of pulling herself under, and here she's kind of at parallel. Basically, kind of powered, rides it down just a little bit and stands up with it. Very smooth, that's the difference. Nicely done, Tia Toomey, 170. All right, here we go, Katrin 170. Feet under the bar, hands on bar. She doesn't really look, but notice how much more labored it is. The barbell's a little bit in front of her. It's a little bit more swingy. It's not as efficient. It takes a little bit more time. Let's watch it slow. So here we go, Katrin, feet under the bar, hands on bar. Notice she doesn't look where her feet are. She just puts her feet there and she put her hands on the bar. Also notice her feet are really straight ahead. I'm not a super fan of the feet super straight ahead because what tends to happen is the knees come back and they lock out too far, but let's see what happens. Also notice she doesn't get super tight and take a breath. She kind of just takes a breath and goes at the same time. Let's see if this affects her. It doesn't seem to affect her, right? Butt didn't shoot up, the back didn't give. She stays over the bar, but notice her knees kind of cave in a little bit. And notice she's leaning towards the left just a little bit, but she's over the bar, over the bar, over the bar. Notice it seems really far in front of her. Really, it's continuing to be really far in front of her. Her hips are shifting forward to meet that barbell. She's kind of careening back. And from here, it looks like she did get a hip brush though into that jump. And notice the passivity, and you know there's passivity because it looks like she literally drops and then the barbell drops on top of her, as opposed to Tia Toomey, there's contact that whole way. She's pulling that whole way, right? So here she's a little loose, and because of that she has to secure a little bit more and really try hard for that to pick it up. I also want to watch this again. I want to watch this again in regular speed because I want you to notice the tempo. It's not really slow to fast. It's kind of about the same. It's kind of a middle the whole way through, right? There's no real pop at the end, and it isn't slower at the beginning, which it doesn't have to be slower at the beginning. We just want to make sure there's pop at the end. So it's that pop at the end that makes that barbell fly and really gives you that verticalness. It really gives you that height so that you can pull yourself under the barbell and then put more weight on the barbell so you can lift even more than that. So regardless, nicely done, Katrin Davidsdottir, 170. Thanks for watching my reaction to this part of the 2020 Snatch Speed Ladder. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe below. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. If you'd like to hit me up and work with me, check me out at www.wulift.com. Thanks guys, have a great day.